What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today we're talking college football bets ahead of Week 6. We'll do the Saturday main slate. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. Thank you if you've done that. It helps us a ton. And thank you if you've been part of the community for a while now. Really appreciate it. We have a phenomenal limited time offer from Bet365 right now. Bet365 has an offer for new users. When you make your first deposit, you can bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. You must be in the states of Iowa, Kentucky, Colorado, New Jersey, Virginia, and Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 to play. Link is in the video description below. All right, this is a rapid fire best bets of the main slate on the weekend. If you want to go all the way in depth with these games or any others on the Week 6 main slate, check out Betting You. That is where myself and Ben Raza break these down at length. Without further ado, let's dive into this quickly. We start with Red River. Oklahoma, Texas, spread is 6.5. Total is 60 points. Texas is the favorite. I think this is a little bit of an overreaction to what we've seen so far this year. Texas has the better win. It comes against Alabama. But since then, we've seen Texas play a relatively easy strength of schedule. They played backup quarterbacks the last 2 weeks in Baylor and Kansas. They predictably beat up on both, sleptwalked through Wyoming, and then played Rice in Week 1. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's not played the toughest schedule either. They do have wins over SMU, Cincinnati, and Iowa State. 2 weaker teams in the Big 12, and then 1 team in the AAC. But Oklahoma has lived up to expectations. They have the quarterback edge in this game. Dylan Gabriel has outperformed Quinn Ewers. Receiver does go to Texas, but you're still dealing with the injury to Jatavian Sanders. We're not sure if he's going to play or not in this game. Both offensive lines have been pretty good here. On defense, Oklahoma has really outperformed expectations. They're actually second in total defensive efficiency right now, while Texas is 26th. If you want to argue the strength of schedule is vastly in favor of Texas, I get it. But the efficiency metrics for both these teams indicate that this spread should be closer than 6.5 points played on a neutral field. We'll back Dylan Gabriel, Angel Anthony, and the elite offense of Oklahoma State at plus 6.5. Second game we get to, we have LSU taking on Missouri. Missouri is quickly taking money. They're now plus 5.5. That is still the side I like in this game. LSU's been a complete sieve in their secondary. They rank 126th in coverage. They've been a revolving door back there. You've seen players like Deuce Chestnut, Zy Alexander, Denver Harris, Sage Ryan, all in and out of the lineup for this team. And no matter what combination they throw back there, it hasn't gotten any better. Missouri has found something in Brady Cook and Luther Burden. Brady Cook, 74% completion, 10.4 yards per attempt. Luther Burden and Theo Weiss are absolutely dominating their opponents. And then on the other side, LSU's offense is unstoppable, but this is the best defense they've faced so far this year. Might be contrary to popular belief, but they played Florida State, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. This Missouri defense is ranked 23rd in the country. They returned almost every starter with a premier secondary, which is key here. 29th in coverage, players like Rake Straw back for this team. Missouri's at home, and they should have a strong enough defense and offense here to cover the 5.5 points. Next game we get to, we will go to Notre Dame and Louisville. We'll do 2 more for you guys. Notre Dame is a 6-point favorite over Louisville, total 51.5. This is a tricky spot. Notre Dame has been limited by their coaching staff at points this year, but their offense is still very efficient, and they're getting back 2 of their top 3 receivers in Jaden Greathouse and Jaden Thomas. Notre Dame is 8th in offensive efficiency, despite what we've seen from them on the field. Sam Hartman's been very good. Their offensive line is top 30 in both pass blocking and run blocking, and this team even had a 61% post-game win expectancy against Ohio State, a far better defense than what Louisville's put on the field, who's 39th in run defense and 61st in coverage. Louisville barely got past NC State. Should have been a little wider than that score. But then they played Boston College, Indiana, and Georgia Tech. Barely beat Georgia Tech. These are 3 of the weaker teams in the Power 5. Now they're facing Notre Dame, who we could be talking about in the playoff if they had gotten past Ohio State and not allowed them to score basically in the final play of the game. Anyway, let's move to our final contest. It is Alabama. They're taking on Texas A&M. I find myself on an island with this. I will back Alabama here. I think -1, 1.5 is completely fine. And the reason is the offensive line, defensive line matchups are overblown, in my opinion. Texas A&M has played the far weaker schedule, beat New Mexico, Louisiana Monroe, an Auburn team that can't throw, and an Arkansas team without an offensive line. In the meantime, they got blown out by Miami when they still had their starting quarterback. Now they moved to Max Johnson. Drop-off might not be massive, but one key difference is Max Johnson is a turnover machine. He has 32 career turnover-worthy plays, and he had 3 turnovers against Arkansas. Unfortunately, that Arkansas offense is just so inept that they couldn't take advantage of any of them. That's one thing. From there, people believe this Alabama offensive line is weak, and they think the Texas A&M defensive line is strong. Well, a couple things. Most of those pressures that Texas A&M has generated came against Auburn and Arkansas. For example, when they faced Miami, their pressure rate dropped from the roughly 40% they had in those 2 games down to 20%. Meanwhile, Alabama has been bad on the offensive line. Their pressure rate is north of 30%, but they've done some things to correct that recently. They've used Jalen Milroe, moving around the pocket more. They've used him on designed runs. And since then, they've only allowed 10 total quarterback pressures and 1 sack over the last 2 games to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. We're not talking about Rice here. We're talking about 2 SEC teams that Alabama's gotten the job done on the offensive line against these teams. Milroe's been extremely good, 69% completion, 10.7 yards per attempt. He's averaging over a first down every time he throws the ball. Think about that for those of you that think he's a bad quarterback. Double the amount of big-time throws compared to turnover-worthy plays, and none of this even includes the elite mobility he provides. The secondary for Alabama's gotten much better too after Caleb Downs and Deontay Lawson, Kool-Aid McKinstry were kind of exposed by Texas. Texas A&M can certainly do that. They have elite receivers with Stewart and Aeneas Smith. But again, you're dealing with the turnover-prone Max Johnson under center here. Alabama's on the road. I'll still take them, and we'll lay the 1.5. Thank you guys for watching. If you have a comment, let me know what you think about these sides. Would love to hear. And if you have a question, please reach out on Twitter. I'm at Matt_Gajewski. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time, and good luck.